This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live.
The last Friday of October is upon us. This is Friday Night Live. That is Chris Stonebreaker. I am Steve Montoya. What a Friday it is.
Hey, it is a great Friday to be here on Friday Night Live with you, Steve. The postseason is creeping up on us. Take a look at this map right here, and you will see that 4 states are already in postseason play: North Dakota, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Alaska.
It's crazy to think, Chris, in Alaska, they will crown their final state champions this week, 1 state down. About 10 more states will get underway next week in playoffs. That map is just going to get more dark as we go along.
Yep, with Alaska crowning their state champions, we go all the way out to Florida, where this week we have a matchup between 2 excellent top 25 teams and undefeated teams of University and Manatee. Let's bring in Steve Spiewak, our MaxPreps national football editor, right now to talk a little bit more about that matchup that has these 2 powers in Florida going head to head. Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is a really fun matchup. It's exciting to see Manatee back in the national rankings mix, because last year they were our #1 team to start the season, and they held that spot all the way until the playoffs when they were shocked by St. Thomas Aquinas. So entering the 2013 season, I don't want to call it a rebuilding year, but a lot of people did not really expect Manatee to be, probably in the national rankings discussion, but they've proven that once again there's a difference between a team and a program, and certainly their head coach Joe Canan knows that difference because they have proven to be good year in and year out. Last year, guys, they had Cord Sandberg, the dual threat quarterback, outstanding player, and they had a defensive line that I thought was possibly the best in the country. And so they graduated those guys, and they didn't have the same cachet and the same pizzazz entering this year, but I think the Manatee coaches knew that they had a very, very good team. I talked to Joe Canan about this, and he said that, we knew we had a guy in Josh Meyer who could step in and not maybe be the same player as Cord Sandberg, but at least be an effective field general for the team. And he knew they had a sophomore in Johnny Lang at running back. You see him here breaking long runs. They knew that they had talent, and whereas the defensive line is not as deep as it was last year, Canan loves the linebackers, loves the defensive backs, said those guys were young last year and they are much better this year. So, maybe not the same superstar firepower at Manatee, but they are 8-0. They're ranked in our top 20, and they are back facing a very good University team, which is kind of a study of contrast, because University is very new to the high school football scene, with their head coach Roger Harriott being a graduate of St. Thomas Aquinas. So another guy who understands what it takes to pioneer a successful high school football program. They are a private school in Broward County. They are a small school, so very, very different than Manatee in a number of ways. But what they share in common is that they are also undefeated, and they are looking extremely explosive on offense, led by their quarterback, Sean White, who is committed to the University of Auburn. They have running back Jordan Scarlett, who the 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball predicts will end up at Florida State. He's one of the top junior running backs in the country. They have a wide receiver, Sam Bruce, who's just such an explosive playmaker, the nephew of former NFL great Isaac Bruce. So guys, when these teams come together tonight, it is going to be an exciting game for the state of Florida, and a game that, maybe at the start of the season you wouldn't have expected had serious national rankings implications, but both of these teams are ranked 17 and 13 respectively. So this is going to be a huge game, and I'm excited for it.
And guess what, Chris?
I'm not going to even try.
All right, well, we will have that game live on MaxPreps. That's right. If you go to the blog section right now, you can find on the homepage a link to the live game tonight. As soon as it kicks off, we will start that live stream. You can watch 2 very good Florida teams playing each other.
Yep, both of them, again, are in the MaxPreps Excellent 25, presented by the National Guard. A team that dropped out this week was Paramus Catholic, who last year was sitting at around the 10th spot, but when they lost to Don Bosco Prep, they dropped out altogether. But let's take a look at now the the Excellent 25 and the MaxPreps computer rankings as they sit right now. And you see St. Joseph Regional has actually jumped up to the first spot in the MaxPreps computer rankings. And on the MaxPreps Excellent 25 side, Washington still sits at number 1.
All right, Chris, let's give away some cash to some schools who are proud of their colors. That's right, they've been rocking their school colors. For more on this, we kick it to Megan Bechet. Hey, Megan.
Hey guys, I'm here at MaxPreps headquarters in the Marketing and Coach Support Department, and this is really the backbone of MaxPreps.com. We have the folks here assisting coaches and members with the website. They're out at trade shows, and they also manage our social media and the campaign of Rock Your School Colors presented by Benjamin Moore. And last week we told our Friday Night Live viewers to submit photos rocking your school colors. We've had a ton of entries, and now we have announcements of winners. The team here picked 3 runner-up winners and 1 grand prize winner. Up on the screen now is the latest grand prize winner. Congratulations to Los Alamitos High School in California. A great shot here sent in by the Griffins. Lots of energy here, and we love the way you rock your school colors. You're getting $1,000 for your school. Our 3 runners up this week are gonna score some MaxPrep swag. Here we have some Hanford West students dipped in blue and black. In the crimson and black is Modesto High School, loving the face paint there. And finally, Urbandale High School of Iowa, rocking the blue and white, throwing up the U. Congrats to you guys as well. Now, if you haven't yet had your chance to submit your photo, there's still some time. We're going to announce another set of winners at the beginning of November. So get on Instagram, post your photos, and don't forget the hashtag #RockYourSchoolColors and win some cash for your school. And Chris, the folks here wanted me to let you know that they did receive all 37 of your entries and have kindly asked you to stop. So, Steve and Chris, back to you guys.
All right, Megan, yeah, you only have to upload a photo one time.
I
Chris.
just, I was going with quantity over quality. I just wanted to really win this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you notice behind Megan right there, that was our support team. So for all the coaches out there that reach out to our support team, that was them right there, the best around.
The best support team ever. And speaking of the best, we have the best plays in all of high school football right now in our Friday 5 Plays of the Week. And beginning this week, Gonzaga High of Washington, D.C. has an outstanding wide receiver in Jabari Greenwood. And in this play, he uses all 6'4" of him to go up over 2 defenders for a 38-yard TD grab.
All right, at the end of first half, Rock Wall versus Lee. Why take a knee when you can do this? This is Will Reed bouncing out to the right and says, nah, I'm going to give it to my guy, Xavier Castow. And Xavier says, I'm going to bounce to the left. And guess what? I'll find my man, Tamba Junah. And Tamba then decides, I will take it into the end zone. No point of kneeing, Chris, when you got guys like that.
Great pronunciation right
Thanks.
there.
It's gotta
Gilbert,
be right on.
Arizona's William Field High School makes the top 5 plays thanks to cornerback Darius Williams and this tip interception return. And I did say return because right now he turns around and goes all the way back to the end zone untouched for the TD. And then right here, look at this. Does the flip, receives the flag, but does not care.
All right, Oregon we go. Game tied at 14. Final play of the game. Lake Ridge quarterback Eric Dungy finds Joe Sindlinger for the win over Lake Oswego.
Last Friday in Michigan with the score tied 14-14 against Catholic Central, De La Salle set up for the potential 57-yard game-winning field goal with 3 seconds left. Jake Townsley booted it, but it fell 10 yards short. Zach Bach catches the kick at the 1 and starts sprinting towards the sideline, bobs and weaves, then gets to the outside and takes it all the way for 99 yards, a missed field goal TD return. Did you know, just with that play, De La Salle in 1 month time loses to a last-second Hail Mary and that play?
Man, that's tough.
That's ridiculously tough on a team.
So that play right there, Chris, we're going to put that up to vote against the winner for the 2 straight weeks. This play right here. It's the best of the best. We remember this kickoff, this punt return so well. Obviously, Cliff Kirker is just going to basically take on about 65 guys on the punt team and score. Chris, what do you think? Do you think the play from this week, that 99-yard kick return, can top this?
The more and more you look at this play, look at the team just sits there waiting. They think it's even down, and then next thing you know, they're like, he's going to break it. I'm going to join on this bandwagon. I still look at it, though, and I think the importance of the field goal return that was missed, with it being a 14-14 game in that Michigan contest, and them taking it, you don't see that happen a lot. You don't see it where they miss it and they take it all the way and win a game on it. And then also knowing the background where it's happened twice to De La Salle in the same month.
I feel bad for De La Salle. So we'll put that play on Twitter and Facebook and let our users vote to see which play continues as the best of the best.
Yep, and speaking of the best of the best, I want to bring in Spiewak once again. Steve Spiewak, how you doing, buddy? And it's now time to have you talk about Famous Jameis, who last week led the Seminoles to a big win over Clemson.
That's right, Chris. You know, Jameis Winston making a big splash as a freshman is nothing new, because he did the same exact thing playing as a ninth grader at Hueytown High School in Alabama. Guys, he played in Class 6A, the largest classification in Alabama, and he led his team to a 6-5 record. As a freshman, guys, threw for over 700 yards and 12 TDs, and was listed on our roster as 6'3", 180 pounds. And obviously in the last 5 years, he has filled out greatly to the point where he's just dominating for Florida State right now. But guys, I remember talking to his coach after the season, and he said, Steve, I think I may have the best freshman in the state of Alabama and maybe in the entire Southeast, and it's pretty clear that he had perhaps the best freshman in the entire country, because that's what Jameis Winston looks like now playing for Florida State. But guys, always fun looking back and seeing a guy, what he did in high school, when he's now doing big things on the collegiate level.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Those plays, that block where he got out and led the block, and then the run for the TD, it's incredible. But he's a great college quarterback right now. But let's talk about some high school quarterbacks that college fans should know about.
Yeah, you know, I think what we're seeing, guys, around the sport of football at all levels is quarterbacks are maturing so much earlier in the process. They have specialized coaches and camps and combines and instructions and the abundance of film to be able to study. Guys are just making that step and that transition more easily, and they are ready sooner than in years past. That's why we see this kind of emergence of freshmen in the collegiate level, and we're seeing it in high school now. But guys to look for next year in college, we'll start with Keller Christ, quarterback from Palo Alto High School in Northern California. I mean, just tremendous pedigree, guys. His father's the quarterback's coach for the San Francisco 49ers. So he's, you know, you imagine what their dinner conversations are like, breaking down film and talking about the position. But he's already tossed for 1,462 yards to go along with 16 touchdowns. And so, you know, Kevin Hogan seems pretty well entrenched to that starting job at Stanford. But when Keller Christ arrives in Palo Alto on campus next fall, you got to think that he'll at least contend and compete for that starting position. Next guy up is Will Greer from Davidson Day High School in North Carolina, committed to the University of Florida. He's completed 194 of his 276 pass attempts, guys, for 2,830 yards and 48 touchdowns. He's only been intercepted 6 times. And kind of adding to that mature development of these quarterbacks is, you know, the offensive schemes that these guys are running in high school, you know, are not that unlike some of the spread schemes that they will run in college. And Will Greer certainly is comfortable airing the ball out, and that will help with his transition to the University of Florida, a school that we've seen have a lot of inconsistent quarterback play. So don't be surprised if Will Greer steps in next fall for the Gators and competes for that starting QB job. Next up, we have Gerard Hurd, one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the country, guys. He's actually the number 2 dual threat quarterback according to 24/7 Sports. Only 6'1", 190 pounds, but he's a tremendous athlete, also a basketball player. You love what he can do with both his arm and his legs. He plays for one of Texas's top programs in Denton Guyer High School, and he is a good commit for Mac Brown in the University of Texas. Now we move to Georgia, and the state's all-time leading passer, Deshaun Watson from Gainesville High School. Believe it or not, he was the state's all-time leading passer by the end of his junior season, and he's just padded those stats now as a senior. He has thrown in his career, guys, 11,660 yards and 137 touchdowns. Tack on another 3,413 yards and 51 scores on the ground, and he's going to finish his career with probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 or 17,000 yards from the line of scrimmage and close to 200 career touchdowns. So simply a phenomenal career for Deshaun Watson, and Taj Boyd goes pro. Don't be surprised if Clemson uses Deshaun Watson early in his collegiate career. Finally, guys, we will head back to the state of California. This time we'll go to Southern California and Chaminade quarterback Brad Kaya, leader of kind of a surprise team. Chaminade this year, they're 5-2. They beat Oaks Christian. They beat Notre Dame and Sherman Oaks, and he's thrown for 1,638 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's a very polished thrower. He's committed to the University of Miami. Guys, when he arrives at Coral Gables next fall, he will likely compete with the likes of Kevin Olson for the starting QB job for the Hurricanes. Like I said, guys, the offenses that they're running, the training that they're going through, the film that they're able to study, these guys are ready to compete when they make that jump to the college ranks.
All right, thanks, Steve. Another class of 2014 QB college fans should get to know is Kyle Allen. Let's learn more about the Arizona Prep Star and get to the game, powered by American Family Insurance.
Get to the game, powered by American Family Insurance. One of the top quarterback prospects in the nation, Texas A&M commit Kyle Allen plays for the love of the game.
I just love the competition of football, hard-earned competition. You gotta put a lot of team effort into it, and that's what I like, is the team camaraderie.
Kyle knows all the positions of the offensive line. He knows where everybody's supposed to be lined up. He makes changes, makes calls, gets guys moving around. He's really like having another coach on the field.
I think Kyle right now wants to play in the NFL. He certainly has the capability of doing that, and that's a dream he wants to try and fulfill.
Kyle knows that the path to his dream begins in the classroom.
Kyle, his commitment to off-the-field learning, on the board, that kind of work is second to none. It really is. He's so smart. He just gets it.
Kyle has always been a great student. The work ethic came from him wanting to accomplish a dream.
For all that he's got going, still manages to have a very good grade point average.
Throughout grade school, I was a smart kid. My parents saw that, and they kept on me. And then through high school, stayed on that path, trying to keep that 4.0 just because no matter what, 4.0 looks good to anyone.
With a strong work ethic and the support of his family, Kyle has big dreams for the future.
I think it's important for Kyle to have big dreams so he doesn't get stagnant. It's going to take a lot more than where he's at now to get there.
That's the thing I think sometimes you can't teach a kid is that will. It's busting your hump, working hard, doing everything you can to give yourself the best chance.
I help protect Kyle's dream by making sure that he's got what he needs for training, and we just kind of remind him who he is and not to get too big for his britches.
To protect my dream, it's just focusing on one thing at a time and trying not to get too in over my head on what's going to come in the future. Just kind of focus on the present.
To watch more inspiring stories about these incredible athletes and their dreams, visit amfam.com/gettothegame.
Another great student athlete.
Yep. Too big for his britches.
Yeah, I love that line.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Allen hopes one day to be in the NFL. And the upcoming athletes that we are going to highlight actually had the same dream, but now they are in the NFL. And so we're going to send you into the segment of what we like to call Way Back When. And welcome to Way Back When. This upcoming week, we got Green Bay going against the Minnesota Vikings, and a linebacker on Green Bay is AJ Hawk. And a few years ago, I got to talk to AJ Hawk up at the American Century Championships about his days back in high school.
When I think of high school football, obviously I'm biased, but I think of Ohio. I think it's one of the powerhouses. They always talk about Ohio, Texas, Florida, California. Those are kind of the four powerhouse high school programs, I think. And I just remember, as a young kid growing up, going to the games every Friday night and wanting to be a part of it. I had 2 brothers ahead of me, so I would go watch them play and be kind of jealous, and I got to play with one of my brothers, my middle brother, Ryan, who's actually caddying for me this week. I played 2 years with him, so that was a good experience.
Ooh, can you imagine the Hawk brothers coming after you?
Both of them, man. That wouldn't be a fun time for anybody.
No. So did you catch the game last night, the NFL game, Panthers-Bucks?
I did.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't. It was a Cam Newton show pretty
Yeah.
much. And the Bucks sure could have used this guy right here. Yeah, that's right. That's Doug Martin. But this is him at St. Mary's High School in Stockton, California. That's in Northern California. For the Rams, he rushed for 3,100 yards and 34 scores. Chris, he was tearing it up at St. Mary's, and the Bucks could have used a lot last night, but that's a key piece right there they didn't have.
Oh, yeah. They had a hard time just getting it from the center to the quarterback, so maybe he didn't help that much. But another player right now that is trending, but not for the best reasons.
No, that's Matt Shaw. But before that drama, I got to catch up with him and talk to him about his best memories of high school football.
There's nothing better. I mean, with your buddies growing up playing high school ball, and just the rivalries you have within your town, and nothing like playing Friday night, under the lights against your crosstown rivals and everything. I mean, it's fun.
Now, Chris, I got to warn the users there that he was on a hill. I was down,
Yeah,
and
he's not that tall.
No,
And
he
you're
was
not that short.
he was standing kind of on a hill. I was down. Yeah, anyway,
the hills.
You got to love what he says about high school rivalries.
Yeah.
That is the best part about high school football.
And speaking of rivalries, let's send it out to Alicia Powers with the MaxPreps travel team.
This is the MaxPreps Rivalry Series, presented by the Army National Guard.
Welcome to the MaxPreps Rivalry Series. I'm Alicia Powers. It's week 7 of this series, and we're in Brentwood, Tennessee, where the Brentwood Bruins will travel here to face the Ravenwood Raptors on Friday night. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can catch the entire series at maxpreps.com/rivals.
Rivals, again, I still love the hill comment.
Well, it's true.
It's true. Now, anyways, this is one of my favorite segments of the show each and every week. I like to call in Steve Spiewak back. Steve, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm over here standing on my hill. You guys just can't see it.
Now, hey, enlighten us on a future high school star in our I'm the Future segment. Who do you got for us this week?
This week, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the son of perhaps the greatest wide receiver ever, Thad Moss, the son of Randy Moss, who, of course, starred at Marshall before a long career in the NFL. Thad Moss emerged as a freshman last year at Boone County in Kentucky, where he earned MaxPreps freshman All-American honors. And in the spring of his freshman year, he transferred to St. Albans in West Virginia, the home state of his father, Randy. But I think that was kind of a basketball-motivated move when he thought his future was perhaps on the hardwood. But now, guys, he is at Lincoln High School in the state of Rhode Island, where he is tearing it up for Lincoln. He does everything, guys. He plays tight end, defensive end, and I think he's the best athlete on the team. So they even line him up at quarterback, and at 6'3", 6'4", 240 pounds, he's already more solid in his build than I think his dad ever was. So he's an amazing athlete to watch. Again, only a sophomore doing big things in the state of Rhode Island, and it would not surprise me, guys, to see him star at the collegiate level and possibly beyond, just like his father.
Thad Moss. I mean, his dad was pretty good. I know Tom Leming said
Jerry Rice is
was
better
better.
than Randy Moss.
Well, Tom Leming said that Randy Moss might have been the best high school
Oh, yeah, that's true.
athlete he'd ever seen. So that's pretty big shoes to live up to. Anyways, if you want to be featured by Steve right here on Friday Night Live, you got to get your hands on a 2013 limited edition Tau Tee. Just go to maxpreps.com/MaxPreps threads after the show to get your hands on the limited edition Tau Tee exclusive MaxPreps gear and look good for those in the fame.
All right, together with Chevy, we're headed to the state of Texas to feature 8 hometown heroes. Here is the voice of Brownwood football.
He's been the voice of Brownwood football for over 50 years. Dallas Houston is this week's Texas hometown hero. Brought to you by the all-new 2014 Silverado.
As far as scrimmages go, you'll never see one more up-tempo than this. The old days of huddling up and taking 30 or 40 seconds are over. This thing has been fast-paced tonight. Basically the same thing it is now. You know, you're trying to describe a ball game to people who are listening on the radio. Back then you were dealing with people in cars or you were dealing with people at home, and basically that was it. They'd just come up with portable radios.
Dallas is just, he's Brownwood football. He's represented it for years. His voice, it's distinct, it's different.
Side to the 15, the 10, the 5, and West Victor's in for a Brownwood touchdown.
Dallas Houston says health will go a long way in determining how much longer he will continue to broadcast Brownwood High School football. But one thing's for sure, he's truly a Chevy hometown hero.
You can watch that in its entirety by going to maxpreps.com/hometown heroes. And remember to tell us your hometown hero story via Twitter by using the hashtag hometown heroes.
All right, Chris, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I want to hear some of your favorite content on the MaxPreps site. Let me hear it.
Love the photos.
Yes.
Love the videos, of course.
Of course.
Your face.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I love a team page that's full of content like rosters, schedules, and stats. Love stats.
Yeah, besides my face, you're right. Stats is one of our core foundation here at MaxPreps, from the player page all the way up to the national level. But sometimes we do get some questions about our national leaders.
Yeah, I would guess that we'd get them like, how really good are these players, and what is their competition like? I mean, we see their big old stats and sometimes gaudy stats, but who do they play against?
Well, Chris, guess what? We have video of the nation's leading rusher. That's right. This is Sammy Mireless, who leads the country in total rushing yards with 2,302 in 9 games total. Mireless plays for Elwood High School in Indiana. He averages 255 yards per game. He has 4 games over 300 yards and 33 TDs. He's been on the varsity, Chris, for 4 years and has 7,693 total TDs and, just a mere 80 touchdowns. So we wanted to show off the nation's leading rusher right now. That's just total yards, and to me, he looks pretty good. He's pretty elusive little back there.
Yeah, he does look pretty good, actually. It's good to finally see who it is that leads those leaderboards. And you know what else looks pretty good to me? Photos. And like I said, I love seeing photos on MaxPreps, thanks to our photography network. And this week, we bring you 5 in our photos of the week. Bergen Catholic's Michael Martinez is blanketed by Jalen Tabor of Friendship Collegiate Academy in this Jersey DC matchup, caught by Glenn Cross.
Rippon's Ryan Fuga goes for the block in Northern California. Photo by Dennis Stiff. He almost got it.
Almost. Another Jersey photographer, Richard Taw, caught this great pic of Southern Regionals Mike Jasecki and his 6'6" frame bringing in the ball.
And Sacramento we go. Northern California between Sac High Kennedy JV battle by David Stutel. They're getting after it.
Look here at this Brazoswood receiver flipping over the defender and teammate, caught by Texas photographer John Godwin.
All right, hey, before we go, if our video producer Scott can pull up the rankings one more time so we can show our users just our top 10. On the left, you have the Excellent 25 Writers poll. On the right, you have the MaxPreps computer poll. So that is our top 10. This is all presented by the National Guard. And one more time, real quick, let's bring in Steve Spiewak. Steve, what are we watching tonight? We don't want to give it away too much, but there is an NFL player headed back to his high school. Is that right?
Yeah, his first name rhymes with Ray Ray, and so and his last name is only 4 letters, and he's one of the best defensive ends in football. So we'll leave it at that, and he's from the state of Wisconsin.
All right, well, hey, thanks for the clue. I don't know if
we'll have it up on the site later. One of the nation's best players. We'll have photos of him. He's returning home to have his jersey retired. It's always fun, guys, to see big-time NFL stars pay a little tribute to their first big stage of football at the high school level, and I just love seeing guys going back and celebrating with their communities.
All right, thanks, Steve. Yeah, look for that on the homepage, and with playoffs here in 4 states and getting there in other states, We want some scores. How can people follow along live?
We want live scores. We want to know who's winning down the street or across the country, and how you do that is Quick Score. It's MaxPreps' mobile scoring network. It's fans serving fans. It's free. Just go to maxpreps.com and go to the team page to sign up, or quickscore.com. Get your unique scoring link and provide everyone in the country a live look in to the game you are attending and sitting in the stands for.
All right, for Chris Stonebreaker, Steve Spiewak, Megan Pache, our support team, and everyone at MaxPreps, I am Steve Montoya. Thanks for joining us here on Friday Night Live.
This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live.